My name is Caroline Average. I am a technical director for economic participation with FHI 360. And today I am joined by two of my excellent colleagues, Berhane Gebru, who is the technical advisor for digital development, as well as Ao Ong, who's been working with us as an ICT for agriculture specialist in Myanmar for the last few years. We are excited to present today some of our work in Myanmar focused on youth-led specific approaches as well as user-centric approaches that we have deployed under the Feed the Future funded by USAID Burma Agri-Food Systems Development activity. We will explain more about the project, the focus and genesis actually of our ICT for Agriculture work, and where we have landed in terms of results over this very interesting period of time, both in Myanmar's overall environment, as well as with the ICT environment as it moves forward. So thank you for joining us today. Next slide, Christina. So I'd like to just orient you to the program. So this is again a USAID funded Feed the Future program. It is led by our colleagues ACDI VOCA as the prime, and FHI 360 has had the pleasure of being their major partner throughout the past 5 years of the program. It is a very exciting, actually, market systems development focused Feed the Future activity. And when it began in around 2019, things were looking very promising in terms of stimulating that market system to meet end market demand, particularly China, India, and other places that Myanmar was exporting to at the time. And outcome one, for example, was focused on increased farmer and local trader engagement, which really dealt with using social capital and social structures to create economic interdependence between different ethnic groups. This is a country with approximately 157 different ethnic groups, as well as a sort of ethnic majority-minority dynamic. Outcome two was focused on increasing access to a diverse range of agricultural services. So if you think about it in a market systems dynamic, this is the cross-cutting sets of services that are required for the market system to function well and optimally. So business development services, financial services, and of course, information communication technology for the purpose of stimulating the agricultural market. Outcome three was focused specifically on quality agricultural inputs and making sure that those could get into the hands of producers that were meeting the needs of specific agribusiness buyer partners in the whole sort of value addition cycle. And outcome four was focused on marketing, both domestic and export markets. There was an entirely separate objective that cross-cut across all of the outcomes, focused on women, youth, and ethnic minority inclusion. And you'll see a lot of that in the description of the activities that we will share here and how we went about structuring those to create the inclusive elements that we wanted to see in terms of developing that market system in a specific inclusive way. The program has been operating for 5 years. It's just about to enter its extension year, starting in October 1, which would be year 6. It has been a very interesting project. Just to give you the context, we began in 2019, right as we were getting going with our work planning. In 2020, there was approximately 2 years of COVID, which disrupted the project's activities and slowed a few things down, but ICT actually was a nice saving grace to that. We used it in many different ways. Right as we got going on our work plan again, which you'll see some of the design of here, we were overtaken by some political and security events that were quite unexpected and have affected implementation. So we will explain a little bit about where we started, where we intervened, and what the outcomes of those were in different areas based on our market assessment. Next slide, please. So in 2019, as we were getting going, we began a very interesting research effort, really to understand the entire landscape and ecosystem of the ICT world in Myanmar at the time. There were some very interesting things going on. Myanmar had been a bit closed off from the ICT revolution for quite a long time, But in 2013, actually, the liberalization of the telecoms industry really created this exciting spark and boom. And actually, mobile phones were starting to become pervasive. So at the time of our study, again, we collected data starting late 2019 and into 2020, GSMA reported that 69% of men actually had a smartphone, as well as 55% of women at that time. So it was this really remarkable jump. And you can see here some of the statistics. To the right, for example, is the coverage network. So pink is where there was mobile network coverage at this time, and green was where there still wasn't, but it was not really consistent. And there were many glitches in terms of the infrastructure that still needed to be built out, despite the major investment starting in 2013. So there were significant discrepancies, as one might expect, between urban and rural populations, as well as between those above the poverty line and those below the poverty line. I neglected to mention earlier that actually the AFDA program focuses on 5 specific states within the, quote, zone of influence for Feed the Future that are very rural and agriculturally oriented. So it focused on Shan and Kachin states, which were at the time of the start of the project more conflict prone, as well as 3 other states, including Mandalay, Magway, and Sagaing. Right now, the overall context is a little bit conflicted, but at the time we did this study, there were some promising developments in terms of the use of ICT, and it looked different in different states. So mobile money had still not quite taken off, and it was an untapped opportunity in our perspective in terms of what might be needed to stimulate the market in the way that we wanted to and get the boots on the ground last mile reach that we were seeking. In the middle here, and again, the slide makes it very small, you can take this down later, but we just kind of mapped out all of the donors, the accelerators, support networks, service providers, and all of the government actors that were affecting that ICT for agriculture ecosystem. In the interest of time, I won't dive into all of them, but I thought some were interesting to note, such as the DANA facility, which has been funded by DFID at the time, and now I think FCDO. USAID was a big actor there. They had invested through their MSTAR activity, which FHI 360 was involved with, UNOPS, and some others. But there were some very interesting actors coming out and providing some of the ecosystem support services to nurture this ICT ecosystem that were quite strong and we enjoyed engaging with. Some of these included Pandiar, we've had Greenovator in terms of a service provider. Many of these became partners later on for the AFDA project they were discovered and sort of sorted and categorized as we went through this exercise. Next slide, please. So there were a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities that were identified and classified through this landscape assessment process. This really drove pretty much the entire design of the ICT for agriculture and digital financial services activities under what was housed under outcome 2 of the project, but actually penetrated across all of the outcomes. So low willingness to pay, that's not a surprise. These types of services were quite new to the market in terms of what we wanted to see happen. We really had to design around what are considered outdated Android platforms and just a culture of in-person relationships that are quite strong and quite well entrenched in terms of potential displacement of an in-person social connection that performed a particular function versus a device that performed a particular function, and who is receiving money for what out of that transaction, for example. We definitely looked at technology acceptance models that have been tested elsewhere and tried to use some of those. We definitely knew that building on what was already being used had to be part of that system. So we used, again, very low level things like Viber, and even got people excited about paying for services around their use of Facebook, which was considered the internet as we started this project. Low levels of trust in technology, for sure. I think, in terms of some of our findings and the ways that we intended to work around, you'll see in our activity designs and some of our results that trusted advocates and peers speaking about services people from the farming communities, for example, that we reached out to, working with companies that farmers and local traders were already familiar with, and building on those tight social structures actually helped us overcome some of these trust barriers. Low digital literacy, including basic literacy, financial literacy, digital literacy, all of that was a constraint for us. So again, the usage of those mobile phones that were penetrating everywhere was really limited to Facebook and a few other very light apps that weren't necessarily creating value as we needed it to for this market systems project. We decided that maybe one way would be to use youth networks who are already familiar with some of these apps and tools and a little more digital savvy to maybe support some of these efforts. And we definitely used agricultural extension workers in different ways and means, all the way through networks of agro input dealers and others that were delivering services straight to the community to demonstrate some of these technologies. I think the most interesting one for me, actually, because outcome one actually focused on all of these social structures, social capital, and how they interrelate to drive specific reactions in the market system around ethnicity, gender, age, and all of these different things going on in each state, which was quite unique to another. We really had to focus on very intensive user-centered design, even getting down into very local language, vernacular, customizing the way we trained, looking at different ways that different people convened under different community structures as we rolled out some of these programs. Next slide, please. So some of this will be a little bit repetitive, but it's setting up just the framing for how we organized our activities and kind of the work streams that we pulled through to address a lot of these challenges. You'll see in the middle just kind of the core constraints that I was just talking about: limited access to financial services, limited digital literacy, digital financial literacy, and also limited access to both input and output markets. We just couldn't, we were trying to forge these connections to make the whole system flow better. So as we had done that assessment, we actually had focused on these key areas of access to assets, services, and markets, which is how this is more or less constructed. So as you'll see down the left, some of this, we were trying to address specific constraints with different types of things, but they all integrated together to form one overall program design for ICT for Agriculture. You'll see, again, focusing on DFS, digital financial services expansion, to local traders and farmers who interrelated with each other and transacted with each other frequently using cash and other modalities. Expanding the use of e-commerce platforms to make sure that trading could happen even from afar, and that there was more transparency both on pricing as well as actual transactions, and making sure that the farm gate wasn't a source of tension. We also focused on diffusing conflict in communities. Focusing on linkages, really, and looking at digital tools for different types of transactions. So even off of an e-commerce platform, for example, how could we use different types of tools to make sure that those flows were going more smoothly? There was a lot of capacity building and training. We definitely had a TOT structure that you will hear about that was quite powerful in terms of reaching out to very low literacy and digitally disconnected communities, particularly those in the producer groups that were feeding into market actors that were larger agribusiness buyers for the program. Digital literacy and digital financial literacy also helped. And again, we did this through some of our private sector partners to help farmers and communities access information, just information about what inputs to put in, good agricultural practices that we were providing through other means, understanding the pest situation, weather, climate, all of that. And this also included access to advisory services, which were complemented by, of course, boots on the ground delivery. Next slide. So these are just the categories that we're going to be speaking about today, just trying to anchor. So we did do a few other things which were quite interesting in terms of digitalization of some of our agribusiness partners and other things that supported the overall program with these initiatives. But today we're going to really focus on some of the core interventions that we wanted to make sure people knew about, because some of them are quite interesting, and definitely the youth-led element is something a little bit new and different, at least for Myanmar, and we thought that was exciting to share. So we'll talk about digital literacy and digital financial literacy delivered through our youth network. I don't want to be a spoiler for my colleague. We also focused on working with banks, microfinance institutions, and other financial services providers to reach this market. Again, making the facilitated linkages and using them as sort of trusted brokers of these services. And looking at e-commerce platforms, which was, again, it's a burgeoning opportunity that I think holds a lot of promise to help farmers improve access to agricultural markets. So with that, I will transition over to my colleague Berhane, and we will move to the next slide. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you very much, Carrie. So we'll start with one of our programs called Digital Agriculture Representatives, which was one of the key avenues for enhancing the uptake of digital agriculture and digital financial services to farmers, also including farmers groups and local traders. The program involved the recruitment, training, and ongoing mentoring of young leaders with digital skills from local communities to support the diffusion and uptake of digital tools to improve productivity and market linkages. The program was designed to enhance digital literacy among farmers and other groups like farmers groups and local traders, and support the adoption of digital technology for accessing market information, agricultural advisories, improved agronomic practices and agricultural technologies, and to foster communication between farmers and traders and increase the use of digital financial services. We engaged 23 digital agricultural representatives from 5 zones of influence, which are targeted geographic area where the Feed the Future initiative aimed to have the greatest impact on reducing poverty. So the 5 zones of influence included, as Kerry mentioned, Kachin, North Shan, South Shan, Mandalay, and Magway regions. And the little dots on the map are the locations from where the digital agricultural representatives came from. Next slide, please. So why use the digital agricultural representatives were all young leaders? Because engaging the youth as trainers in digital agriculture and digital financial services, it holds immense potential for supporting the adoption of digital technologies among farmers. Several reasons, and one of them is the youth are usually eager to acquire new skills, and they bring an innovative and tech-savvy perspective to solving some of the difficult problems in their communities, and they are eager to apply or grow their digital skills to create change in their community. And the other reasons that we cited is young people are inherently motivated to create a better world for future generations, and they are motivated by the opportunity to make a tangible impact in their communities. As the young people are also generally digital natives, and they are adept at using technology in their daily lives and leveraging their familiarity with digital tools. And that makes them effective communicators and trainers in introducing digital tools to older generations of farmers. They also provide fresh perspectives and innovative ideas to traditional farming practices, promoting modern and efficient methods. And they are usually highly motivated, they possess high energy and are more flexible in their teaching method. They are capable of tailoring training programs to suit the needs of preferences of diverse agricultural communities or farming communities. And they can develop interactive, as we have seen in our program, develop interactive and engaging workshops and demonstrations that resonate with the farmers in their community. And the other reason is by engaging the youth as trainers, there is an opportunity to bridge the digital divide between generations. They can facilitate intergenerational learning to bridge older farmers, overcome technological barriers, and empowering them to embrace and use digital tools for agriculture and as well as for digital finance. And finally, equipping the young folks from local communities with digital skills not only enhances their employability, but also fosters entrepreneurship within the rural communities. As trainers, they can inspire farmers in their locale to explore innovative digital solutions for farm management, market access as well, and also financial inclusion. So this is the pathway we wanted to show the action and time pointers from recruitment of the DARs to training farmers by the DARs. The DARs, the digital agricultural representatives, and monitoring the uptake of digital tools among farmers. So the program was launched over 2 years back in January 2022. And candidates with a passion on the use of digital tools for agriculture and, with really good interpersonal skills and who are comfortable with the use of smartphones and also who were also familiar with the use of common mobile applications were asked to submit application online in January and February 2022. A total of 251 candidates submitted application from the 5 zones of influence, and we recruited 26 candidates competitively. And the 26 candidates received training in March 2022. And I will explain the training curriculum in the next slide. Out of the 6, the previous slide, please. Yeah, out of the 26, 3 left and 23 DARs moved to the next stages. In April 2022, each of the DAR were asked to prepare their annual plans under a theme that we called Turn My Village Digital. The plan included, the timelines for the training of the farmers and communities, how they would enhance the uptake of digital agriculture. And the project team continued to provide ongoing mentoring and coaching to the agriculture representatives, develop and grow their digital skills to help them effectively communicate with the farmers. In around 2-3 months in May, June 2022, the DARs gathered pre-training data on farmer digital literacy situation, and this was used as a baseline data to analyze, and it was used for 2 purposes. One was it was used for fine-tuning the training curriculum for each of the DAR, and secondly, it was used to compare the skill and uptake of digital tools by farmers when we did an impact assessment 10 months after the training. The program continued through April this year, where we provided ongoing mentoring to them. Impact data was also collected, and I will share some of the outcomes of the impact data. Next slide, please. So there were 2 sets of training curriculums that we prepared. One was an advanced curriculum for the DARs and an entry-level training curriculum for the training of farmers by the digital agriculture representatives. So the curriculum was peer-reviewed and vetted internally by the project team, as well as by a pilot group, which was composed of young interns with university-level digital technology background. So the advanced and basic curriculum covered the topics that we have listed here: introduction to mobile, ICT, mobile lens of the internet, basic web searching using mobile devices, working online and using information using mobile devices, introduction to digital financial services and services available in Myanmar, and introduction to mobile banking services and that are also available in Myanmar. And finally, cybersecurity and keeping financial and other information safe. So the last two on the last two bullet lists, that is business plan development and career development skills, they were given only to the DARs to improve their employability and provide basic skills for those who want to start their own business. And the rest were given, the rest of the curriculum was for the DARs as well as for the farmers. Next slide, please. So in this slide, we show the model for training the DARs, lead farmers who were trained as trainers, and the staff from project partners who were also trained as trainers. The model involves project ICTforAg team, who served as master trainers, and the master trainers were also a member of the curriculum development team. The master trainers trained the other trainers, including the digital agricultural representatives, some lead farmers who were also trained as trainers, and partners, staff members from partnering institutions who were also trained as trainers. So the trainers delivered, trainers delivered training to farmers groups and others, and the training curriculum developed by the project which was also enhanced during pre-training assessment of farmers on their digital skill. And in all cases, pre and post-training data was collected and data was analyzed to inform training curriculum and measures the uptake of the digital technologies by the farmers. Next slide, please. And we conducted a panel study that involved 132 farmers from who were trained by the DARs before receiving their digital literacy and digital financial training, which was provided in June 2022, and interviewing the same respondents after their training in March 2023 last year. And the study assessed how farmers' use of digital financial services, access to market information, access to agricultural advisories, and the use of communication and collaboration tools such as Viber, Facebook changed about 10 months after receiving the training. And the study showed overall the use of digital financial services by farmers doubled, increasing from about 27% to 58%. That is 10 months after receiving the training by the digital agricultural representatives. Women's digital financial service use increased from 10 to 20%, and men's substantially increased from 17% to 43%. Access to market information also increased by 52% for men and 20% for women. So here, I think while the increase is very encouraging, it's a bit disproportionate when it comes to men compared to women. There was a substantial increase for men compared to women. The use of Viber and Facebook also almost doubled for both men and women. Next slide, please. So this is my last slide before my colleague E takes over. As I have noted in my previous slide, in addition to the DARs, we also, that is the digital agricultural representatives, we also trained lead farmers as trainers through what we call Training of Trainers program, or TOT program. So the TOT program followed the same training curriculum for training the trainers and farmers, and was conducted between December last year and April this year. We trained 16 trainers, and each trainer trained 20 farmers in their communities. That is a total of 320 farmers trained by the TOT program. And as in the Digital Agricultural Representatives Program, we collected baseline data and early impact data at the time, which is 2 months after the training. And the charts that I have shared here shows how access to agricultural information improved 2 months after the training. access to market information using mobile devices increased by about 58%, and access to information related to agricultural technologies increased by about 55%, and access to agricultural advisories increased again by about 50%, which we think is quite substantial. So that is my part, and thanks so much for your attention. And now I will hand it over to my colleague E, who will present the rest of our presentations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bahani. Yeah. Thank you all for joining our webinar and giving time. For me, I would like to present about our DAR, who are the youth from our ZOI area. Actually, there are 23 youth leaders for our DAR program. But here for the time, I only represent the two DAR from for the time. One is the DAR who serves as a DAR in Magway region. She graduated from USAID Agriculture University with in agriculture science. Actually, she is so passionate about distribution her knowledge about agriculture and digital literacy around her neighborhood and environment. She also serves as a volunteer in Farmer Forum, and she also joined as a one of our partnership, Greenway Innovator, as a pilot survey team and internship student. She has over 2 years experience in digital extension also. She got the digital literacy and digital financial literacy training from our after specialists, and also other about the plant nutrition management and about soil and fertilizer also. Because our program has a lot of specialists concerned with agriculture, and she is currently doing her own business as a chemical-free farming in her native town. She has a lot of expertise in digital service like ICT, digital security, and content. She is a content writer. She is currently doing as a content writer in one of the agriculture application like Greenway app. Yeah. And another I want to introduce about is Kon. He is a Pao ethnic from Southern Shan state. He graduated with geology major, and he is one of the family member of the farmer working in potato farm. And he also received the training from our after specialists, like do hand training and conflict management training like this. And he also now currently studying. He is also studying and managing his own fund in his native town. Here we have to, we cannot use their face and their contact number because of our political situation. Political situation. We have to blur their name and something. Yeah, for privacy purpose. Next slide, please. Here, I want to talk about how our TER program can give the benefit for our community and our market system and the youth in the ZOI area. Actually, our TER, 33 TER can do a lot of things during their tenure in our after program. They give training to over 600 farmers in their ZOI area. Actually, they can bridging the farmers to our modern farming technique. Actually, most of our farmers stick to their traditional farming method, and during our project time, we can persuade the stubborn farmer to move to the modern farming technique. And we also introduce a lot about our farmer to use market to use mobile ad to check the market price and weather information. And we can also expand about the market linkage to our farmers, from our farmer in our ZOI area. And according to because of our DA program, most of the youth in our ZOI area got the chance to become employed. And according to the latest update of our DAR, between 23 members of our DAR, more than half of them are currently employed, like enumerator and other digital agriculture related programs. And also because of our DAR program, most of the farmers participated in our digital economy system. And actually, they change their agricultural practice a lot. We can see our data-driven approach. Just now, Bernie shared that they can also use the digital platform and digital application for market information, weather forecast and other digital related application also. So this is the benefits of our DAR program. Next slide, please. Concurrently with our DAR program, we can also expand our digital financial service to our ZOI area. These are actually, we have a lot of partnership, and here we summarize only our key partnerships and market actor. And the first one is the KBZ Pay mobile wallet, which is known as which is driven by KBZ Bank. And this one is we can say like number one banking service in our country. And the goal of our connecting with KBZ Bank is to use mobile banking and to use e-commerce platform run by KBZ. We call like KBZ Pay Market, and this is one of the e-commerce platform. They have mobile banking and mobile wallet also. With partnership with them, our DAR can also get the service fee for onboarding new client in the area. And the other two is the AR Pay wallet and the A Plus wallet, which is driven by AR Bank and the A Plus A Bank. And these are also the popular mobile wallet in our country. And for collaborating with them, our DAR can get the service fee for onboarding new clients. And the other three apps, one of them is the Green Innovator. Here, this is the top agri-tech company, and their application Greenway is very popular among our farmers in our country. Actually, they have a lot of agricultural products and agricultural articles in their application. They also developed e-commerce platform named with ZNG for e-commerce platform for traders and farmers. Actually, most of the selling products are farming related and agriculture related products. And they also have the training session for digital literacy and digital financial literacy curriculum. Before they onboarding their clients on their application, they conduct a training session about the digital literacy and digital financial literacy and the usage of their app. Yeah, this Greennovator company is our one of MSDF partner also. Another one is the IE21 app, which is developed by this award. This award is also the member of the Mojalu Foundation, which vision is to financial inclusion globally. The IE21 app is actually developed for financial management system. With collaboration with IE21 and this award, we contacted the IE21 project team provide a training to our DAR for financial management, and in this app we can make a note about our income, expense, and other things, and we can also control our financial. This IE21 provide digital financial literacy curriculum collaborated with Greennovator, and now Greennovator conduct the digital financial literacy training to our farmers. And the last one is the PD app. This is the e-commerce platform provider and ERP solution provider. And with PD app team, we conduct a Zoom meeting for our MSDF partner for point of sale and e-commerce platform for introduction point of sale and e-commerce platform features. Yeah, Christina, next slide, please. Yeah, actually, it's a little bit difficult for our team. Actually, for ICTforAg team in AFDA project, we have only 2 colleagues. We're not my former supervisor, Ting Ting, and me. As you know, the farmer stick to their traditional farming technique and traditional selling method. It's a little bit difficult for us to persuade them to our e-commerce platform. Actually, during the COVID time, a lot of e-commerce platform and a lot of online sales services are popular in Myanmar, but only in the urban area. The people in rural area, they did not believe online shop and e-commerce platform. They only went the barter system, and they will pay their product and they went cash in hand. Yeah, so it's a little bit challenging for us to introduce the farmer about our local farmer and trader. First we have to link what are the widely used and most popular e-commerce platform in Myanmar, and what e-commerce platform are suitable for our ZOI area. We have to choose them first and list them down, and then we have to negotiate with our e-commerce platform provider whether they can onboard and they can give training to our local trader and farmer, because our local trader and farmer are not familiar with their service and their platform. If they want to do business with our local trader and farmer, for sure they have to give onboarding and they have to get the training to them. And then we have to identify our local trader who will be interested in the e-commerce platform and to do their business. After that, we have to train our local trader and farmers to use e-commerce platform, how they can use the e-commerce platform, how they can persuade their client farmer to use the e-commerce platform. What are the benefits of using e-commerce platform? We have to explain them and persuade them. Our e-commerce platform provider have to provide also the training, platform onboarding training, and they have to persuade the benefits of their platform. And currently we are providing the ongoing support to our local trader and farmer to use e-commerce platform with our accrue team. Yeah. So this is how we can persuade our local trader and farmer to our e-commerce to the use of our e-commerce platform. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, actually, or you may be aware that because of our Myanmar economics and political challenges, our economy is staying in downtrend, and we have to put our numerous effort to recover it. And actually, this is a bit beneficial for our farmer in ZOI area. Actually, I think after a project made a lot of benefits to our farmer in ZOI area and trader also. These are the following are the e-commerce platform we introduced to our farmer. Shorter code, KBZP market and ZNG and PD e-commerce platform. Among these, some of our trader and some of our MSDF partner are already onboarded on the shop.com, KBZP market and ZNG. We have only nearly 10 partners are onboarded on this e-commerce platform. Maybe the numbers are quite few, but according to the, just like our country, economics and political situation difficulty, that number is also a big achievement for X. Yeah, and these are the e-commerce platform we are currently using it, and maybe our Outcome 14 we introduce a lot of e-commerce platform, and we made more partnership with other e-commerce platform also. Yeah, next slide, please. These are the implementation challenges during our 5-year project STEM. These are the main challenges for our ICT, actually ICT for agriculture and ICT or ICT implementation. We face these kind of challenges, limited access to internet and the high data cost. Actually, today also, we also face a lot of internet connectivity problem here. This is one of the big challenges for ICT implementation. And the other one is the limited acceptance of digital financial solution. Because the people in rural area and territory area, their fear of fraud and illegal activities. During these days, they face a lot of online scam also. That's why they are afraid, and they are very fear to accept this kind of digital financial solution. They only believe in cash. They want to see their cash and their income by cash. They don't want to. They don't believe about e-money. So they are also the challenges for our digital financial services. Although the urban area people are familiar with the e-money, mobile banking, and mobile wallet, there are many challenges for the people in rural area to accept the digital financial solution. Another one is our country political instability. And due to the political instability, the travel limitation are also quite a lot. Even in our DAR implementation, we arrange a lot of training our ZOI area, but we have to negotiate with our ward leader. We get the approval from them. But after that, due to the political instability and travel limitation, we cannot phase out, or we cannot conduct our DAR training in our ZOI area. Another one is the security concern. Because of the political instability, most of our DAR, all of our DAR are youth and young people, so we cannot let them go to the place where there is a security concern. So security concern also a big challenges for our implementation. Another one is that due to the instability of our political situation, we cannot gather a lot of youth in one place, and we cannot arrange a training with young people. that, as you know, most of our ICT related things are interested by only young people. The adults are stick to their traditional method. So this is a lot of challenges for our ICT4Ag implementation during our project time. These are the main challenges for us. Next slide. Maybe I think thank you for the time for giving us presented about our ICT4Ag implementation in our Uptake project. And thank you. Any question or any opinion from the attendees?
Thank you, E. That was excellent. We did start a bit late, so we're running a bit late. I don't see any questions right now, but maybe I could ask Suzanne to let me know if there's, I think there's people in a room as well, so I'm not, maybe you could assist. Suzanne? Okay, maybe we've lost Suzanne. Unclear. If there are no questions, I actually wanted to just add a few pieces. I know you've heard about the context sort of throughout this discussion, but I think it's really important to note that this work stream and the types of interventions that we supported had to adapt more than 4 different times in significant ways to make sure that it was responsive to the very evolving security, conflict, and other elements of the situation, including a major currency crisis, as well as financial instability of the country. Again, some very specific pros and cons about using youth. They were phenomenal in delivering our content. They had the energy, they had the interest, and they saw it as a career opportunity. And we were able to link that into some of our internship focused programs through another section of AFDA. And I think that was exciting to see them become young entrepreneurs using those connections and skills, including becoming KPay agents, for example. But, you know, as the conflict has evolved, there are some challenges with using youth and trying to make sure that they remain safe as individuals and also, you know, as part of the program delivery mechanism. So I think these are just important things that we could not have predicted at the time we designed these interventions. And it has been nice to have the opportunity to have a duration to provide longitudinal data over where we began and sort of where the farmers and traders ended up, at least over the course of 1.5 years, 2 years of this activity. So it's nice to have that evidence. Let me stop there, Suzanne. Oh, okay. Excellent. Our COP has chimed in. Descriptions of the issues to overcome. Excellent. Yes, thank you so much, Philip.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a very evolving project on many fronts. And I feel like ICT4Ag, right when we came in 2019, 2020, it just had this amazing sort of cachet around it. There was so much excitement. Everyone was ready to invest, actually. And part of our landscape assessment focused on investment opportunities, hackathons, you know, different ways to take the ICT skills and interest and energy and deploy it into really cool innovations to support the agricultural market system. We weren't allowed to do many of those things for various, again, security reasons and constraints, but considering the conflict situation that we've been dealing with, I do feel proud of the achievements of this work stream and the team that put it together. So I think, unless there are any other questions, I think Suzanne will go ahead and close. This has been recorded. So anyone is welcome to replay it. And also we're happy to deliver this at any time to the internal AFDA team that's not been involved so closely in this work stream. We would like to thank, of course, ACDI VOCA, our prime, who's been excellent and supported us through all these evolutions and adaptations as we wove our way through the ICT and Ag and Digital Financial Services work stream, as well as USAID Burma, which has been a strong supporter throughout. Thank you, ICT4Ag conference organizers. And I think with that, we will close, and we're happy to take questions that may come through throughout the rest of the conference duration. Thank you, colleagues, as well for presenting. It was excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you,
Thank-
Christina.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you
good
all.
day.